everybody. This is your boy Ty. I'm coming to you again. Sorry it took so long. Sorry, look at this. I just came back from hiking. What a wonderful adventure. Saw some deer. Got to be connected to nature, to creation, to life. So really good. Endorphins are really high right now. So I'm really excited. So bear with me. Today I'm excited to be with you all. So welcome to a walk in the garden. And so let's go ahead and get back into it. Y'all know how I do. I like to say my greetings, say I love you, say hello, and then get right to it. And so today we're doing a walk in the garden part two, and we're talking about love. What is love? And so in part one we talked about self-love. You know, the energy, the essence of becoming love within ourselves, so that we can heal ourselves, so that we can go through the journey of self-love, and which is a continuous and a lifelong journey of loving self, self-care, and taking care of one's emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual components to release and get through some of the baggage. But when we talk about love, and I was kind of a little bit disappointed because this go around I didn't get too many people's feedback on what they think love is, and that's all right because love is when asked to put into words, sometimes it's very difficult. You know, sometimes even giving the action is difficult. So when you ask an individual what is love, love comes down to upbringing. It comes down to perception. It comes down to faith. It is love is so simple but yet so complicated, you know. And so we come from different places of where love comes from, and how to express it. You know, we hear about love languages, you know, how people love. Do they love through words, affirmation? Do they love through giving? Do they love through touch? How do they exhibit love? Are they a little bit of everything, mixed here, mixed there? So love is something that is uh, it's interesting. It's beautiful, but it's interesting when we ask our human minds to simplify it and to condense it. And so today, I guess I'll be the first to go. You know, I'll be the first to say what I've come across as love being through research, and then how I internally see, believe, and hope for and in love. And so if we look at the Webster's, I'm going to do a little compare and contrast really quick. When we think about Webster, when we look at the Webster Dictionary of Love, it is very kind of broad to me. It says, love, one, love is a strong affection for another arising out of kinship or personal ties. So we see, you know, the love that we have for our family members, for our friends, for maybe our coworkers, you know, a strong affection for another arising out of kinship or personal ties. And then Webster goes on to say an attraction based on sexual desire. And then the third one says affection based on admiration or common interest. Um, and when I get this, it's so it drives the point of how love can be so self-seeking. When love is not necessarily, in my opinion, love is not a self-seeking thing. Love is a outpour. It is an essence of being, and love is something in which we pour into. You know, and it does not. I'm not saying that we're not deserving of love. We're not deserving standing on what we define or what we think we deserve in the essence of love. But Webster gives such as the church folks would say, a very secular, a very cardinal way of expressing what love is. So now I'm going to compare it, and you know, y'all know I was gonna do it, so don't act like I wasn't. Now I want to come to you from 1 Corinthians 13, I believe 4 and 8, and its definition of love. And it says, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it is not rude, it is self-seeking, it is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrong. That's why I zoomed in too much. No records of wrong. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoice with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always preserves, love never fails. And so I thought when Paul wrote this, Paul did a pretty good job of expressing and using adjectives and descriptive words of how we see and how love should flow from person to person, from heart to heart, from essence to essence. And so I thought that was very, very interesting. And I'm a fan of that explanation of love because it does not just say, "Oh, I love you," and we can love just because it is. But in loving an individual, and just because, I love the example that is used of how we do that. Because people say, "I don't know how to love," and to me, Paul gave some really good examples of how to love. You know, it is, and love never fails. Love is not rude. Love is not. We say it's bittersweet. But the word says, out of the mouth, how can, and I'm paraphrasing you all, how can sweet and bitter come? How can we do that? So love is, it's not bipolar. It's for lack of better words, and I mean that in no offense to anybody who endures or have family members who suffer from bipolar, has a diagnosis, excuse me, of being bipolar. But I say that in the sense it's not hot, cold, up and down. You know, the emotions that we feel and what we go through with individuals may be hot and cold, but the essence and the mind of love is conscious, is woke, it is prevalent and it's alert. Because I can be upset with you, but my love for you should not change. People take their love back. I don't want to love you no more. You know, that to me, love is, I can be upset, and it's okay to be upset without not wanting to love someone. But love is also an energy, and I'll touch that. So I don't want to hold you long, but since I was asking for people feedback, I say, well, you can't ask without being the first partaker. And so when I think about love, I had to write it down because it came to me, how love is identified in my eyes. And some people may agree with the word choices that I use, and some may not. Some people may describe and give personification to love, give embodiment to love in another way, in another form, and that's all good. So I'm gonna get into it. It says many people have a hard time explaining love. So at this point in my life, I submit that love is hard to explain because we are not one mind, but love is. Love is yoked. It is pure, meaning it's honest in its giving. It is delight. It is sweetness in a moving. Love also must be you because you were created in it, in the mind of God, birthed into creation. Love is also a journey. It endures. It sacrifices when needed. Because sacrifice was given, love is double breasted. It is the safe place of rest, but it is that correction and sternness that is needed that says, I believe in you. To sum it up, as I have shared what love is to me, and in my words, I agree with Paul, who wrote Corinthians, by what I believe is God inspired. Love is above all, and love is found in plain sight. Love is what it does. Love is just what it is. And I say this. You hear me say it often. Don't be a nickel looking for a dime. The very things that we want in love, the very respect, the very essence of it, the very from the emotional to the physical to the spiritual, all these things that we desire in love. We don't have to be perfect in it, but we sure doggone better be striving for it. We better have some components of it. We better be maturing it. You say you want someone who is thoughtful and honest and gives from a pure place and is considerate and hears and is affectionate and X, Y, and Z. The very things in which, unless that person clearly just says, okay, That's not how I like to be loved. That's not how I feel comfortable being loved. But when you are seeking or trying to provide or to gain something, you also have to be willing to provide and be the very same things, you know. And so I didn't want to keep you long. This video was going to be very short. I thought it would be a little bit longer because I thought I was going to get more feedback or for this particular component. But I do understand when we talk about love, love can be a beautiful yet scary thing to talk about. But love is nice. Love is good. And love is you. And we have to become love. We have to become, you know, Mahat says, or Gandhi, I'm giving him nicknames, say we must be the change in which we want to see. Well, if we want to see the love in which we desire, we must be it too. It is a universal truth, in my opinion. You have to be what you're willing to, and what you're expecting to get back. And so that's it, guys. I just finished my dinner, y'all. I am starving after being out there in that good old heat, which was we got some really nice winds too. So it was just nice. I enjoyed it. But I'm ready to eat. My lunch slash dinner is prepared, and I have enjoyed you. And again, I didn't want to hold you long, but understand you are loved. Love is you. You were created in love and out of love, and not the love of the two flesh, but the love of the mind of the individual um, who thought you perfect to be right here in this place and that's in this time. So I thank you all. One love to you all. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Sorry it took so long. Bye bye.